Hello YouTube, this is Chris from Mnemonics back with another video for you. I'm still playing Naval Action, as you can see. I've taken a little break to work on my house, as I've stated in a previous video. And I've also been playing some World of Warcraft. There's been a new release. I don't know if anyone has missed it who's involved in any form of gaming, but Legion has hit the shelves and a race for the level 110 has begun. Given that I'm already 110, I started collecting gear so that I may be able to get into raiding again. But for now, I'm planning on showing you 3 tips I wish someone would have told me when I started playing Naval Action. So let's see if we can get into range of this little skipper. Go, go, go. This game is so slow, but that's part of the charm. I'm used to fast-pacing games like a racing game where you hit W and the car's away. But yeah, this is not a game if you don't have the patience. As you may also see, this is not the same boat I used as in my last video, and the other one required so much crew to sail that it was ridiculous. So I've taken this boat. It's still undermanned, but it will give me some levels where I can get more crew up. I'll explain more in a bit. The first thing I wish someone would have told me is to fire single shots. When I was new, I basically just did like this. Empty everything. Here we go. Bam! Not many of the rounds actually hit the boat, right? Since we're going ahead to each other, my speed is around 10 knots and I would expect him to have the same. So we're basically intercepting each other at 20 knots, which means he has sailed by the time the last of my cannons are shooting. So what you want to do is single shot. It has its pros and it has its cons, and I'll explain both. But as you can see, you have a highlighted area where your cannon range is. You also have a smaller highlighted area within the bigger highlighted area, which tells you which cannon is firing and what direction it's keeping. The size of it also shows its accuracy. So if I keep my crosshair still, it shrinks and becomes smaller. And to fire a single cannon, you press Spacebar. Yeah. So instead of hitting every cannon, emptying every cannon, basically you just hit Spacebar 1, Spacebar 2. And that should increase your accuracy. I'm gonna do a drive-by from the other side just to show you. And keep in mind, when we fired the first set of rounds, there were maybe like 4 out of 19 balls that actually hit him. The others went ahead of him, some went above him, and most of them went behind him because he had already passed me. Now I need to get closer because I don't have long-range guns on this boat. And of course he's turning away from me because he's smart. Go, go, go. Don't you hide from me. Fire them. I'm guessing we should fire him from this side then. Kamikaze pilot, forcing me into the wind. Now it's pretty close, so this is an excellent opportunity to empty everything, but I will show you just by firing once. Hit, hit, hit. And that one. You still need to adjust for when he's turning. You need to keep turning as well. So basically you just spacebar. You wait until it's smaller, the little area. God damn it. The mast. It's a hit. It's a hit. I really need to get long range guns on this. But even if I miss a handful of these shots, as you can see, I'm hitting a lot more than I would have by just emptying everything. And depending on which cannon is actually firing, you need to adjust accordingly. So if you have him in the middle of your boat, if it's a cannon in the rear that is firing him, you need to adjust to the left, and if it's a front cannon, you need to adjust to the right, just as you would when firing all the cannons at once. So that was single targeting or single shooting. If you already if you don't know already how to use your binoculars, it's the shift button, which makes it easier to see if you hit. It also makes it easier to check on his the height of him and water level wise, so you know if he's sinking or not. He's a lot more agile than my old ship. This ship is still undermanned. I only have 200 in crew. This requires 280 to sail and shoot properly. But the bigger boat I used in my last video actually was too big, and it needed like 1,000 crew or something like that. Ridiculous. So god damn it, he's hard to hit. So low across the waterline. The bell is also good to listen. Yeah, that's for another time. The second thing I want to tell you about is the wind. Always pay attention to the wind and never go against it. That's something I went and did during my early days, and I would get caught against the wind, and I would get caught against the wind, and they would just do laps around me. So what I did was learn how to control the sails manually. Now I know where the bells were. It's me, I'm fucking on fire. Yeah, by adjusting the sails manually, you can, first, you can get out of a pickle. You don't have to be dead in the water. And you can make pretty cool power slides without losing too much speed. I will show you in a minute. Just gonna punish him for putting me on fire. God damn it. How do you like it? Oh well, let's try. I'm gonna turn against the wind, and I'm gonna do it on purpose, and I'm gonna zoom out so that you can see the sails. Hopefully you get an idea of what I'm talking about. At the moment I'm doing 10 knots, and I'm gonna switch my rear sail so that I get wind in those, so that I can steer clear of the dead zone that is coming up right now. I would have been dead in the water if I got caught by this. Right now I'm just breezing by, and I'm past it, and I never went below 4 knots, which is the minimum speed for them to be able to board you. So we were at 4.4 knots, which is okay. I have done faster laps around that dead zone. But the way you adjust the sails is to... I'm scared. You press for the front sail. There's probably a nautical term for this, I don't know, but for the front sail it's Q and E. So Q turns the front sail to the left and E turns the front sail to the right. Z and C steers the middle and back sails. And a rule of thumb I have is that it's supposed to be opposite. So, for instance, if let's go against the wind again. If I want to go right against the wind, then the front sail needs to be opposite that. So then it needs to then it needs to be left. And in this case, I am turning left. At the moment, I'm turning left, as you all see. That's the front of my ship. I'm turning left. That means the front-facing sail needed to be right, and the back sails need to be opposite. So I'm switching by pushing Z, so that the back, middle, and rear sails turn my boat. And I clear it. I hit F. The skipper goes back to auto, and I can continue shooting on whatever. Let's do it again. Since I'm a bit retarded, I can't really speak. Let's put a few rounds in this motherfucker. Hello? Hello? The best part is I did a previous video of this, and it turned out so much better. I was nailing every shot, and I wasn't being halted by the waves catching it or whatever. And yeah, that's so frustrating when you have material, but there's a problem with the material, so you can't really use it. And in this case, it wasn't adjusted to my screen, my new screen, so it was kind of choppy and bad. But yeah, let's turn right. So I have skipper on auto. Oh, go. Now I'm gonna do a power slide. It's like power slide with a car, but this is a... Okay, so for me to turn right, the front-facing sail should be the opposite. So it's already shifted to the left, which is fine. So now I'm just adjusting my middle and rear sail and power sliding through the dead zone. And we're past it. Now I hit F and the skipper goes back to auto. It adjusts my front sail and I'm above 4 knots. This works even when you're caught in the against the wind. So even if you're dead in the water, use Q and E or Z and C to adjust your sails, and you will eventually get out of it. It may be, since you're starting from 1 knot and you don't have any good winds, that it maybe takes some time, but you don't have to be dead in the water for a long period of time. Are you gonna kamikaze me, dumbass? Are you gonna try and board me? Have you lost your mind? He's so close now, so I'm just gonna empty it. The great part about single shotting is that you should hit more shots with your balls than when emptying everything, and that is all. When facing an AI ship, that's really what it's all about, because you need to get the armor down to get the increased experience. So the more armor you take down from the enemy ship, the more experience points you get at the end of the battle. However, when they are close and you get a lot of hits in at the same time, for instance, when emptying all the cannons on one side, they may be shell-shocked, the opponent's boats. So that boat may have increased load time because you just planted 20 rounds in them at the same time. They're deaf, half of them are dead, and yeah, whatnot. So by just doing single shots, you increase your own accuracy, but you minimize the damage and shell-shocking capabilities. I don't know if it have any impact on how to start fire or something like that, but I just feel it's more controlled. So let's sink him. It's very close to the water level, I would say, but maybe not. Just high waves. He have lost his whole armor on the left side, and the front is taking in water like a maniac. The rear armor is the weakest, so if you can get a few good hits in on that one, that is great. And when the armor is down, if you keep firing, eventually his rudder will go, or eventually it will be pretty damn fast, but his rudder will break and he will be dead in the water, and easier for you to just pick off. I wonder if he's actually sinking. Oh yeah. Well, that was great. But to recap, single shot, you use spacebar, you keep the crosshair still to minimize the highlighted area and increase your accuracy. Shift you use to zoom. It's handy for when there's smoke and you want to see if your shots hit or not. Adjusting the sails. Front sail is Q and E, and the back and middle sails are Z and C. And to activate the skipper mode again, you press F and it automatically adjusts. And that's the 3 things I would have known when I started playing this game. I hope you can take some lesson from this to you. Take a lesson. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. This was it for this time. Like if you like this video, subscribe if you want to see more. Check out my Facebook's page at Game Mnemonics. Currently showing some pictures of my house, which is in ruins since I am renovating it. But until next time, have a nice day and take care.